And yes, we're recording. So it's Guido, Goal Trainers. This is the True Potential podcast, Turbulent Times. Today we have a special guest. It's no one else than Koen Vaessen, founder of the startup, the Vegan Academy, living as a Dutchman or fellow former Dutchman in Barcelona and enjoying the sunshine. He's also sitting outside. So Koen, very welcome here.
Thank you, Guido. Thank you for hosting this. It's my
Yes.
pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and you were super excited to share your journey and to share also the steps that you've taken and the journey that you've made so far. So tell a little bit more about like what is it, what you're about, and how did you come in Barcelona?
Yeah, long story though. To give a little introduction to the story, I would say I've worked my years always in retail as management, and after almost 10 years in retail, I saw that it was time to start doing things differently, and that's also when my own personal growth kind of amplified, and I really had the opportunity to look around me and look inside of me what I really valued and what I really found important in life. That's also the period in time where I really invested deeply into my own personal development, my health. Also went vegan in that time. That's now a little over 3 years ago, and that's kind of the whole situation, I would say, that triggered more growth. And that's also the period in life where I actually connected with you for the first time, lived abroad in Gran Canaria together with you, and I always had this passion for helping people, coaching people. That was something that always in my management years always came forward as well. But now with this like new vision and energy about like how to change the world, and that I see what is the vision to feel better and to also care more about your environment. That's what I wanted to share. But I didn't really know what yet. And I think as well, there was what I really noticed for myself is like the part of not believing in yourself enough yet to do the things that you really wanted to do was holding me back to really achieve having a business and having a community and really step up as a leader. So I got kind of sidetracked over the last 2 years, did a lot of different projects, built up a lot of experience, really worked on myself, built on those beliefs. And now I'm back in Barcelona since last year. And now I'm really excited to start my journey again as a business startup. And now I have been here the last couple of months really focused on building a vegan community called the Vegan Academy. And
Vegan Academy.
And that's kind of where we are now.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing. So the Vegan Academy is all about transforming people into high performance persons, high performers.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think for now I'm also, because this is still a very new process for me as well, is that I see now, of course, before the whole Corona pandemic happened, we were meeting actually once a week. I had a meetup there. We were training in a park, a big park here in Barcelona. And that was kind of like my entry point for the Vegan Academy, to get to know the people within and to also figure out for me, like, okay, what is it exactly that people are interested in and want to do more of? And that was growing quite fast. I was in 3 months, we went from 5 to 25 people. So that was pretty good. It was still all free for charge, but I was getting a lot of experience out it. And now of course the whole Corona thing happened. And now I'm kind of in this crossroad again. Okay, what is it that I'm going to do? I'm going to focus now more on online, or I'm going to make plans for when the whole coronavirus is over to focus back on offline again. But definitely, like you say, focus more on the high performance, boosting energy levels. That's one of the things that I am passionate about and definitely can help people forward with.
Yeah, exactly. So what does that mean for you, like being a high performer?
I really believe that being a high performer is all about your mindset and how you look at life. I'm trying to catch myself and thinking in limitations or taking myself as a victim instead of looking for opportunities and looking for ways to grow myself. I really believe that's the way. And of course, we all have days that are less. We all have our energy levels and sometimes also our mood going up and down. And that's okay. That's natural. That's part of the human experience, I would say. And I believe that a high performer knows how to handle and how to manage these situations better, and yeah, have a clear goal and a clear plan also, for the future where he wants or she wants to go to, of course.
Clear plan for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. So there's what you're currently working on for yourself as well. You said it already a little bit, like you're working out, like what is it that you're gonna do now, and you offer now. What is your first solution that you do during the Corona crisis, so to speak?
Yeah, my first solution, I would say, is always to just keep on focusing on your routines and the things that make you happy. Like, don't force yourself into doing anything that you don't want to do, you know. Like, there's, for every person there's a different sauce and a different spice, so definitely do more of the things that you personally enjoy. I can recommend calisthenics, you know, as well, of course, Guido. But if people are not into that, then go for a run, go for a swim, do whatever to get your physical exercise. And I think definitely one thing that a lot of people underrate is the quality of nature and connecting with nature, and being outdoors, taking in that natural daylight. I think those are one of the most essential keys for living a happy life, quality life in general.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, Koen. So the quality life in general, and that's what you really have been discovering yourself, right? Like the last couple of years. I remember that you told me one day in Gran Canaria in 2017, when I think Walter was there as well, another, let's say, like outside the box entrepreneur type of guy that really wants to do different things than the current system advises you to. Let's say it like
Yeah.
that, right? And that you were really like, okay, so but how to set this up here, and like it kind of clicked over the last years, right? Like first you were like more thinking about doing it than doing it, and now you made the shift more to doing it. Is that like how? What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, that's 100% true, Guido. That's also why I now became like a big preacher of taking more action, because it is my environment, like people like you, like Walter, that I live together with, that showed me my own shortcomings in that topic. And also the people like, for example, Randy from the Vegan Entrepreneur, my own coach and business coach, who has also always been an advocate of, you never found out what it truly is that you want to do unless that you do. And I
Unless
think
you
this
do.
taking action is the magical ingredients towards anything, basically. Like you can sit down and you can try to manifest whatever you want, and you can have perfect visualizations, and you can meditate for hours a day, and you can but in the end you still got to do. And that's what makes
Koen. Koen. It was about taking action. And because of this crisis, there's also a crisis on the line. Maybe a lot of people are doing Zoom calls and video calls nowadays. So that means like the bandwidth is quite having a hard time. So taking action. Man, Koen, I'm very curious because there are so many things you can do still to grow your vegan academy. At the same time, you cannot do all of them, and you're doing also a job, right? So it's still like the thing that you do on the side. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's absolutely still a side hustle at the moment. So I'm also really looking for what are the most efficient ways to build this up. And but then again, I realized that by saying it, like, I will never know that answer by thinking it, and that brings me then
No.
back also towards action. And it just I really notice now with my business also is just, you gotta try, you gotta do, and you gotta figure out what works and what doesn't work, and only then you really know. And then still you only know it until a certain degree, because it's always your perception and the way that you look at it. So also don't like, I think like the best advice for myself is always to not take life too seriously, and especially not the things that I perceive, because it's like I say, it's just a small percentage of the truth, and the truth is always much bigger.
Yeah. So don't take life too serious and see the bigger picture. That's also what you were saying, right? And if I like look at you and I see you also doing a lot of meal kind of stuff, you're quite into nutrition as well.
Yeah.
Is that also something that your mission is to teach that in the Vegan Academy?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that nutrition is one of my key points in general, and this is also really come forward out of my personal drive to change my nutrition, because when I look back 4 or 5 years ago, my nutrition was like ultimately bad. You know, I was like the typical naysayer to pretty much all foods that existed. I yeah, like my
All
diet
foods?
was, yeah, pretty much everything, man. Like what I ate was like an apple and a paprika, like fruit and veg wise, and um,
Yeah, bell peppers.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like sandwiches and some rice, some pasta, like really really basic stuff, but no vegetables at all. A lot of processed food, and like I said, I was working in the supermarket, so it was always like a lot of ready-made go-to meals, pizzas, like that kind of stuff. And yeah, when I lost that job in the in the supermarket, I was home. I was like, man, I'm 25 and I've literally no clue how to take care of myself, nutrition wise.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then a
that is
whole big
crazy.
change started, and now I'm so deep into it. Like 4 years later, that nutrition is just like, it's a second nature. It is really something that I don't have to think about anymore. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy a treat once in a while, that I don't enjoy going to a nice restaurant or
Of
having
course.
having some chocolate or whatever. I really believe that that's not what it's about, but it's about like 80-90% focusing on healthy habits. And yeah, that's something for me that comes so naturally. The way I eat, the way I fast, what I drink, when I not drink, when I eat, when I not eat, what I eat. And yeah, this is definitely something that I focus a lot of my attention to in the Vegan Academy as well.
Yeah, yeah, so interesting, man. Like
Yeah,
to hear you talking like this, I feel that there's like a deeper calling that is in you that wants to help people to make that journey as well.
yeah,
And how can you elaborate, or can you elaborate on the feeling that shifted in you because of this transformation food wise?
yeah. It was definitely a big step forward in my own personal belief, as in the sense of um, how I viewed myself, and always being a, yeah, so to say, like bad eater, and that also had his experiences throughout my childhood and early adolescence, because of the relation that it creates with your parents, for example, when you're not eating the way that they want you to eat, for example.
Mm,
So that kind of grew, like that's something that I also realized now, more recently, that kind of grew a deep um, belief inside of me that said like, you're not good enough. And by investing and really researching how I could start to take care of my own health, and really developing that skill, which by going step by step, literally putting 2 spinach leaf in a smoothie and thinking, with my nose closed, oh, what is this? This is disgusting. It gave me the chills. And in especially like the first half year, there's so much food that have been wasted that I literally threw out, that I had to wash through the drain because it was so, yeah, disgusting to me at that point. And yeah, like now when I look back at that, I feel like so proud. And I really feel like, yeah, there's like a big accomplishment for something to change so drastically, because food is like something that a lot of us don't do without thinking, or do without thinking about it. And yeah, to change something that is like um, normal for 25 years in your life, and then switch it around 180 degrees. Yeah, that grew me a lot of like empowerment. And yeah, really made me feel like that little boy that was not eating his vegetables when he was like 6 year old, that got smaller there, that died a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing, amazing. Because there's like not everybody knows that, of course, that is listening or watching this. how you were so different before, because I met you also as this salad expert, right? Like you know exactly how to make salads with kind of nuts and soaking overnight and all the kind of things that are quite advanced on a nutrition level from my point of view, and you are doing them. And also, you know, like combining different kind of food so you get the full package and you will feel full, and you know all these things. You know, I really see you as like not only a salad expert, just like a whole food nutrition expert. And with that, I see already so much of possibilities, like especially in Spain, where I would say in general, like Spain is not at the same level as the UK and the Netherlands also not. So it's interesting. Are you also learning Spanish or?
Yes, at the moment now I took the Corona also as an extra opportunity to invest more in my Spanish. So so far so good. Yeah.
Yeah, and you gave already a tip. Like, what would you advise people stick to the habits? Are there like any other tips to someone that's listening or watching this and thinking like, hey, what can Koen really advise me to do now during this time? Like to improve, to get out of the shit feeling or the feeling of overwhelmness, overwhelming feeling.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's something that definitely a lot of people are now concerned or having questions about. So that's stuff I would definitely like to go into that a little bit deeper. I think one part is very important to. It's like I said in the beginning. Like if you just want to crawl up in bed as a little bundle, that's from time to time also okay, you know. So if you are there right now at that position, then also just surrender to that and allow that also to be. But also don't let it get too far into you. So what I really realized for myself is that a lot of our energy and a lot of our moods come from where we put our attention to. And if we focus on a certain thing, that generates a certain thought based on our experiences that we had in our life, the way we raised, all of these things. And if we have a certain thought over and over and over again, this often creates a certain emotion. So if you are constantly thinking of fear of something that's not really happening right now, but it's actually also even something that is in the future or something that may have happened already, creates a certain feeling. So that fearful thought might make you feel anxious over time. So I really see, and this is also from Tony Robbins, of course, emotion, energy in motion. So I really see that where on the one hand you put your attention to, that's literally what you become. That's what your reality is. That's the reality you're creating. And also on the other side, on the energy level, how you move your body, like that's the kind of emotion and the kind of mood that you're in, the kind of state that you're producing. So if you really want to change fast, then I would always recommend to first change your motion. And no one can like fake a smile, you know, like it can really be that easy. And no one can continuously to feel bad when you're just forcing yourself to not feel bad and just crack up a smile. And there's, for example, like if you go to yoga, like happy baby pose, like we both know it, like I already get a good feeling provoked from just thinking about it because it made me feel so good. So, and there's plenty of exercises like that. And just an example of how energy can totally change your reality and how you suddenly view something. So accept the position that you're in. I think that's always very important. Surrender to it, so to say. And if you want to change, then change your attention and change the way or what you're looking at first. Change your reality and definitely change the way you're moving. I think those are most important.
Thanks for those insights.
Thanks, man. My pleasure.
It's also interesting, like, and it's our ambition to ask this question to everyone that's coming on. If not the first time, we do it the second time that we speak with people. What would you advise now, as the Koen that you are today, to a version of yourself that just signed himself up for his first business? Koen that you're speaking right now to has just signed up his first business, has no clue what to do, has no clue in general, like where he's want to take it. What would you give as an advice to that Koen?
Just do. Just do. That's it. That's the only advice. It is really that simple in life. Just go after the things that you enjoy and just do more of them. And I really see that that is the way for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just go for it, man.
Yeah, just
So
go for it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And to understand a little bit the situation that Vegan Academy is going now, is transitioning to online, to the online world. Same time, I'm curious. Somebody is listening to this is not living in Barcelona. That could be that there are people listening to this and not in Barcelona. What is the thing that they go to the Vegan Academy for?
Right. Yeah. Depends, of course, a little bit on the person, but I would definitely say that the community feeling is definitely important here. So I see a lot of people that miss that connection, miss the deeper connection, and especially with like-minded people, and that's what you can find here in the Vegan Academy always. And at the same time, having people that are already a few steps ahead of where you might be now on nutrition, on movement, on mental health, and can guide you in that process by showing what they do. I think those two things are most important.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice community. So that's also what you want to do online, right?
Yeah, I'm now like still a little bit figuring out and trying what is like the group that I'm really going to focus on. I think for now, since I'm here stationed in Barcelona, that the community part will be more and more local, but now I'm shifting towards online, and the product that I will come up with, the coaching product that I will come with, is going to be more in the range of the solo entrepreneur or small business owner category.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you're gonna help small entrepreneurs, or?
Yes, because I know especially them, they live a really busy life, but they also have very high standards. So I know that I can be of a lot of value within that group. And and from a business point of view, of course, you also got to look where people can actually afford the product that you're offering. And now I work with a lot of millennials, a lot of students, a lot of expats that are new in the city, and that is in general not the best group to really expect big investments from. So that's now also a little bit the business differentiation that I'm trying to make, to see like, okay, this is cool, this is what I've been doing now, but now is also start to think about how can I actually make money with this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very interested in learning or discovering the real problem. Let's say an entrepreneur is listening to this, solo entrepreneur, business owner, and has like a little bit of doubt about the nutrition that he or she currently takes in, and thinks like, okay, so what can Koen exactly do for me?
I think it's always very important. What a lot of other coaches might forget is to always look at the current position. So I would always first go in a one-to-one position and really focus on what is actually what you're doing now, and try to identify the key obstacles. And then we're going to focus on that, because in many times you have a lot of things that are limiting you in the situation that you experience, but a lot of things, they overlap. So if you focus on the key obstacles, then you will see that a lot of the other points are actually dissolving by itself. So that's I think very important. And what often is, if I look at myself, is that we're so caught up in how we're living our life that we actually don't see the things that are kind of obvious maybe for people outside of us, but we don't see them often because of our own beliefs and our own perspective. Like I said, like awareness is really important, and then also just creating a basic step-by-step plan that you can go through, that really is like an accountability in your process.
That's so interesting to hear you saying that, man. So Koen, I want to create that accountability together with you. There were in a couple months, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6. we're doing an interview again, and we see then both like where we are, where is this platform
Yeah,
together with you and everything, and where is your community, and what is let's take that as accountability. Like maximum half a year we do again an interview, and we see like how did we really took that action.
I like that.
Cool, man. Thanks so much for being here, man. Where can people find you?
They can always find me on theveganacademy.com. That's the basic website that we have online right now, but also under the Vegan Academy on Facebook, actually at the moment. So that's the easiest way to find me, or always Koen Vaessen at Instagram.
All right, man. All right, man. That's Koen and then Vaessen. All right, man. Koen. Koen, thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day. You're sitting already in the sun, so I don't have to say like take some moments outside because you're already doing that. Have an amazing day, man, and thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Guido, for having me. It was it was really fun to do. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share my message here with you. Thank you very much, man.
See you in the future, man, for sure.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, man.